Lights, Camera, Jackson, and welcome to LCJ Live. It's the Easter Sunday episode, Sunday, April 2025. And as we expected, two Warner Brothers films lead the way. And guess what? It's Sinners on top. Michael B. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan in Ryan Coogler's latest film opened to $45.6 million. That is reportedly the biggest opening for an original movie since Jordan Peele's Us back in 2019, which opened to about $71 million. It just opened above Nope from Jordan Peele from July of 2022, which did about 44 million. So there you go. Warner Brothers thrilled today. Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, the entire cast and crew of Sinners. And then you have a Minecraft movie, number two. It added 41.3 million. It's at 344.6 million bucks. It is the eighth biggest Warner Brothers film of all time and the fourth biggest non-DC Warner Brothers film of all time. So they are thrilled today. Warner Brothers dominating the month of April at the box office. And as I posted just a little bit ago, remember this. Mickey 17 was originally supposed to open this very weekend. And Sinners was supposed to open on March 7th. And Warner Brothers decided to flip-flop the release dates. Mickey 17 went to March 7th, Sinners April 18th. And guess what? Sinners made 19 million in its opening day. That's what Mickey 17 made in its opening weekend. Sinners makes nearly $46 million in its opening weekend. That's the entire domestic total of Mickey 17. So it's a complete flip-flop for these two Warner Brothers movies that did have a flip-flop. At one point, Mickey 17 was also supposed to open at the end of January. So a complete flip-flop of the two and flip-flop of results. And Sinners is the much better movie of the two. It is Ryan Coogler's best film, I think, since Creed. I liked the first Black Panther, didn't love it, but liked enough of it. Wakanda Forever, outside of Angela Bassett and that opening tribute to Chadwick Boseman in the opening credits, I don't think Wakanda Forever is a very good film. Fruitvale Station is excellent. Creed is quite good. Creed 2, which Coogler didn't direct, I'm not a huge fan of. But this is a film that I think has a few issues to it. It's a little slow, it's a little long, but I think Coogler makes up for it with the momentum later on, where we go with the story, the commentary on family and generations. The cast is all very good. They deliver with their performances. The cinematography is great. The music really envelops you in what's going on. And there are some semi-surprises along the way. I wish it was a little more suspenseful, especially early on. But overall, I go to a lot of movies on Thursdays, and a lot of these big Hollywood movies lately I've walked out of on Thursdays going, oh my gosh, this was terrible, this was same old, this had nothing going for it, and Sinners has a lot going for it. Again, not a perfect movie, I'd give it a B, but it is a good film, I do recommend it. Ben Smith, Lights, Camera, Jackson, what are your thoughts on the Minecraft movie? Well, you look at it in two ways. Number one, the box office, it's a true blockbuster. But number two, I think it's a very unoriginal, no creativity towards this film whatsoever, and just the same old jokes, themes you see out of live action family films. Jack Black just going crazy. Jason Momoa, way over the top. Jennifer Coolidge, completely unnecessary in it. A lot of mistakes, a lot of wackiness in a Minecraft movie that really doesn't belong. So yeah, there you go, though, from those two films, $86.9 million. Pete Crooks, did you like Napoleon Dynamite? I do like Napoleon Dynamite. I saw it a long time ago. Not a great movie, but I understood it. I understood the comedy. It made more sense with that story and that tone. Trying to put that into a Minecraft movie and almost have the Minecraft aspect of it be secondary or even third compared to everything going on. It didn't quite work. I talked to Jared Hess last year for his animated film Thelma the Unicorn, which is on Netflix, which I thought was okay. It's a musical. It's got nice messages for families, and some of that humor is in there. John Heater in the voice cast of that. But Minecraft movie does not work. Very interesting. You've always got good takes. Thank you, Ben. I've been following you since your Emmy win, and I'm 57 now. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you, Ben, and thank you for the Emmy win comment. As a matter of fact, are you ready for this? I won that Emmy 15 years ago, this past Friday. 15 years and 2 days ago was April 18, 2010. Quite a night and quite a memory. And thank you, Ben. I appreciate that very much. And Pete as well. If you've got questions or comments, send them in here on our Easter edition of LCJ Live. Number three is The King of Kings. The King of Kings did incredibly well this Easter weekend. It added $17.3 million. It's up to $45.3 million. It's the second biggest Angel Studios film of all time, behind Sound of Freedom, and a strong second weekend for an animated film. I mean, to go from 19 million and change to 17 million and change is very impressive. Of course, this is Easter weekend. A lot of families going to see this. Some kids have school off tomorrow as well, so you could have a good Easter Monday for that. The King of Kings, very impressive. Do you have any old videos from when you were a kid that never made it to light that you could upload? No, but never made it to light. Um, Most of the when I started on television, which is when I was 10 years old, most of those segments are on the YouTube channel. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. But some of them from the earliest period are not, because YouTube wasn't. I wasn't really on YouTube actually when I started TV. So maybe there's some other things I can find in the archives that I can post at some point. Number four this weekend is The Amateur. Look, King of Kings did 17.3 million. The Amateur 7.2 million. Big gap for 3 and 4. The Amateur is at 27.3 for 20th Century, and it's a film I don't care about much because it doesn't work. King of Kings I like most of. Amateur, not great film at all. Most of it is weak and cyclical, and the momentum is very uneven. And The Amateur may try to get to 40 million, but it may not hit that. A lot of 20th century movies over the last few years have been right around that 40 million mark. Last year, year before that as well, we had Barbarian and The Boogeyman and A Haunting in Venice and Death on the Nile and The Creator. All of those around 40 million bucks. So here's another case of a movie that could sort of be around that $40 million mark. You had films higher than that, like Avatar Way of Water and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Alien Romulus, go significantly higher than that, but a bunch of them in that range. And then The First Omen did like 20 million. Pete says, glad you liked Sinners. I thought it was the most original and thoughtful big studio blockbuster in a while. Cooler and I go way back from the same neighborhood, and I could not be happier for him. Yeah, that's great. And I think now, though, get ready for Sinners 2. And clearly, no spoilers, but clearly what happens, and you got to stay through the whole movie, by the way, to get everything. Clearly what happens sets up a sequel. And I think when the buzz was around for this, which was just about 15 months ago, January of 2024, was this studio bidding war. Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan had this concept, this original concept, that had a lot of buzz behind it, and multiple studios wanted it, $90 million price tag. And a lot of people, I've already seen articles today, they're like, well, it opened to 45 million, but the budget was 90, so is it going to make its money back? I think that Sinners could end up doing like 130, 140 million domestically, which is very good. They say you need 2.5 times your budget to make it back, so that'd be about $225 million. Overseas, it's already added about 16 million, so I think it can do more than 200 million worldwide. But I think more importantly for this movie, this is a creative play, an original concept play, a franchise play, and an awards play. You could honestly, I can picture Sinners being a Critics' Choice Best Picture nominee. We're so far out, I know. Maybe, it's tough in April. Are people going to forget about it? But look at what Warner has done with Dune Part 2. Came out in March, first weekend of March. Got a Best Picture nomination. Could it be an Oscar nominee? We're so far away from all that. But I can picture Sinners being a Critics' Choice Best Picture nominee. I can picture it being a SAG Best Ensemble nominee. And I can picture it being nominated for cinematography and maybe the score and young actor, Other performances, maybe Michael B. Jordan, we'll see. Um, but definitely, it's definitely in the mix. A screenplay nomination, original screenplay, I could absolutely see that. Again, we're so early, but this is the kind of movie that people are going to remember. I think the critics groups and some of the awards groups, maybe all of them, are going to remember this movie, and Warner Brothers is going to push this film at the end of the year. I'm not sure off the top of my head what they have at the end of the year. I know they've got the Paul Thomas Anderson film with Leonardo DiCaprio for the end of September, but my goodness, that does not look great. And if that turns out to be a flop, then they're going to make that into the back seat, and it's going to be Sinners. Just like what happened with Joker Folie à Deux, which was an original, Joaquin Phoenix following up his Best Actor win and all of that, and then it bombed, and the most critics hated it, and they didn't put any awards consideration into it whatsoever. This is a win for original films, for Ryan Coogler, for Michael B. Jordan, for Warner Brothers, and the kind of movie that I think is going to be acknowledged at the end of the year. Maybe not, but we will see. He's rebooting the X-Files next. Yeah, we'll see about that. Are they giving a casting Oscar this year? I think you are right. I think it's this year coming up that's going to be the casting category. And then we're still a couple years away from the stunt Oscar category. Though maybe, it depends. It's always tricky about stunts of how many stunts were really in a film. I'm not sure how much really went into Sinners, but maybe it's up for that as well for SAG Awards. A couple years away from the stunt Oscar, the casting Oscar, you could definitely see in this. Because of Miles Caton, I believe that's his name, the young actor in this, breakthrough, first performance, and what a great role for him. Yes, Miles Caton. Breakthrough performances have what has gone into the casting award from the BAFTAs for the last several years, and will certainly go into the Oscars. Michael B. Jordan playing two roles, does that hurt the casting nomination or help the casting nomination? That's an interesting decision. He's very good, but I'm just saying you have the same person playing two roles as opposed to two dynamite actors. Does that help or hurt a casting nomination? But we could absolutely see that later in the year. Fanimator 101, I saw your interview with the creators of Super Duper Bunny League. Love the show, saw the first 2 episodes. Yes, if you want that conversation, go to lcj.podbean.com and animationscoop.com with the creators of the new Nickelodeon animated series, Super Duper Bunny League. Lilo and Stitch is on the way, as well as Leo. I have not seen those 2 films from '87, Pete, that you're talking about, and Delroy Lindo. Did you see Delroy Lindo talk about how he got snubbed from the Oscar nomination for Da 5 Bloods? But he was a Best Actor Critics' Choice nominee. So yes, Da 5 Bloods got 1 Oscar nomination, I believe, for score, and Chadwick Boseman was nominated, and in some categories, I believe SAG Supporting Actor, maybe Critics' Choice as well. I'm not 100% on that. But Delroy Lindo did get, I believe, a Best Actor Critics' Choice nomination for that. Yeah, so at least he got that from that award season. I do like Sinners a lot more than Da 5 Bloods. It didn't work for me emotionally. I want to run through the rest of the box office quickly. Warfare, another 4.9 million. It's at 17.1 for A24. Number 6 this weekend is dropped with 3.4 million. It's at 13.5. This is not a success for Blumhouse. Number 7 is a new anime film, Colorful Stage, which opened at 2.8 million from G Kids. Number 8 is the 20th anniversary re-release of Pride and Prejudice, which opened to 2.7 million. Number 9 is The Chosen, The Last Supper Part 3, 1.7 million. It's at 11.1. Part 1 of The Chosen, Last Supper, 20 million. Part 2, 12.2 million. So the total for the 3 parts of The Chosen, The Last Supper in theaters, $43.3 million and counting. That is excellent for Fathom Events. And rounding out your top 10 this weekend is a tie for 10th, 1.2 million each for Snow White and A Working Man. Snow White at 84.6 for Disney, and A Working Man at 35.9 million for Amazon MGM. The Wedding Banquet only opened to 923,000 for Bleecker Street. Sneaks under $1 million, we believe at this point, for Briarcliff. That's too bad. Had a great conversation with Keith David and a great one with Rico Rodriguez, the two of the voices in Sneaks. Go to animationscoop.com, lcj.podbean.com for that LCJ Q&A. Woman in the Yard, 750,000. It's at 21.9. And The Shrouds opened in 3 theaters, 52,000, 53,000 for The Legend of Ochi from A24. That opened in 4 theaters. It goes nationwide this Friday. Also nationwide this Friday is The Accountant 2, which I have seen. I saw it last Tuesday. Ugh. I love the first Accountant. I love how bold it was, how gutsy it was, how it blended genres. You know who was great in the first Accountant, who is not in this one? Anna Kendrick. Anna Kendrick was very good. That dynamic between her and Ben Affleck was great. And the same dynamic between him and John Bernthal just is not there in this sequel. It is so generic. It is so dull. And I was completely uninterested in The Accountant 2 from about the 20-minute point on. I go, gosh, this is just every other movie, and the pacing of it's wrong, and the structure of it's wrong. A very underwhelming sequel, The Accountant 2. Rob P., what are your thoughts on the A24-themed Thunderbolts trailer? Would you consider it misleading since the tone of the trailer most likely won't match the movie? I didn't see the trailer, but I saw the poster. Or maybe that was the combo with the trailer. I think I saw a little something to that a couple weeks ago. They're trying anything they can because they don't want another underwhelming performer. And Captain America got to 200 million, but 100 million of that was in its first 4.5 days. So Marvel is, holding their breath. If Thunderbolts underwhelms with its opening weekend, in just 2 weekends, everybody's going to be like, oh no, the summer's going to be bad. You got to understand, it's really Memorial Day weekend when things get going with Lilo and Mission Impossible. And from then on through the middle of August, we are cooking pretty much every single weekend with big movies and big blockbusters. So Thunderbolts will be interesting, but please, I just pray that if it doesn't do well, that all these outlets don't say, theaters are dead again. Please, don't make us go through all that ridiculousness again. Theaters are going to do fine. They're doing fine. And you've got so many movies on the way. Thunderbolts is being screened in select theaters nationwide starting Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. My question is, why? Why are you showing a Marvel movie to the public this early when stuff's going to get out? Or are they going to hold some end credit stuff back? I don't know. But things are going to be online within seconds. So I was very surprised when I learned that was happening. Got other animated films this summer. Yes. Smurfs, Bad Guys 2, Fixed, which is coming to Netflix. Grand Prix, I'm not sure what Puko is. Zootopia 2 is later in the year. What are your top 5 thrillers to stream while avoiding The Amateur and The Accountant 2? Oh gosh, I don't even know at this point. What I would say is, what I would say? I would say that when it comes to what this summer is going to be, and I have a blog piece now at lights-camera-jackson.com about this, the streamers don't have the lineup that the theaters have. There are a few big streaming movies coming like Happy Gilmore 2 and Predator Killer of Killers, the animated film on Hulu, but when you look at the summer lineup, it's the theaters for sure. And so I just hope that there are great movies to see in the theaters and streaming films as well. But to me, this is a make or break summer for the theaters, and streamers got to understand that. Yes, you had your few years with COVID and everything, but the theaters are back and the theaters are here. I mean, I truly first got that vibe. Let's talk about Michael B. Jordan. I first got that vibe in March of 2023 with Creed 3. To me, yes, you had Top Gun Maverick and you had other stuff, Spider-Man and all that. But from March of 2023 on, I thought, okay, I think I've got this gut feeling that the theaters want to come back and they want to take over what the streamers have been doing for the last 3 years. That was the point where I said, okay, I think the theaters want this badly. They want to be the champion, to take the crown, to be number one again. It was Creed 3. You had a lot of movies that March, and yes, there have been ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs, but that was the point, March of 2023, when I thought, okay, I think the theaters are ready. Also out this week, On Swift Horses, that's a drama. I may check that out. Havoc, I may watch. It's Tom Hardy's new action film on Netflix. Until Dawn, I'm probably going to pass on that. It just some horror movies I can do, like Sinners and others. Until Dawn, no, I got to spend my time wisely, and that doesn't seem like an investment. But hey, the horror crowd's going to go. Cheech and Chong's last movie also comes out, a documentary on Cheech and Chong. The re-release of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, celebrating 20 years. And you know what's great today is GSM's going to pay tribute to Wink Martindale with episodes of Tic-Tac-Toe on Game Show Network today from 2 to 6 p.m. Eastern. And tomorrow, new podcast episode, an Animation Scoop Q&A with the makers of a new PBS Kids animated special called Acoustic Rooster and his Barnyard Band, Kwame Alexander and Julius Harper. Check that out tomorrow. More Q&A and Animation Scoop Q&As and LCJ Q&A podcast episodes are on the way. And more things happening as well. Yeah, 28 years later, we'll see if I see that. I don't know. I'm back and forth on that. And a lot of Star Wars announcements. Yes, Ryan Gosling. No Mikey Madison in the Star Wars film from Sean Levy. Levy. Yeah, that Star Wars film, Starfighter. I'm sure there's going to be a big song with that. I can just feel a big pop star doing a throwback 70s style Starfighter song. I can feel it. I don't know who it's going to be, but I would invest in having a big pop star do a cool 70s style Starfighter song. That might actually work. So that's it for today. Thanks for being here for this Easter episode of LCJ Live. Happy Easter. Have a great day. For more, go to lights-camera-jackson.com, X at LCJ Reviews, and Instagram at LightsCamJackson. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We go live every Sunday at noon Eastern. When we're back here next Sunday, Sinners could win again. Minecraft could still do pretty well. The Accountant 2, it depends on the buzz. Could it do more than the 24 million the first opened to or less? That will be interesting. Any one of those three could be number one next weekend. And then we will preview the start of the summer movie season with Thunderbolts, along with Another Simple Favor and The Surfer, and other movies coming out for the beginning of May. Thanks for being here for LCJ Live. Happy Easter. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching LCJ Live Easter episode. Bye-bye.